The Modern Warfare MP5 is a very good hipfire weapon that can be used for medium and close range. There are two main issues though. Aim down sight can be a bit tricky because of the lack of stability when you're using a hipfire build, and also the magazine size is only 45 rounds and has a relatively long reload time, which can be a bit difficult in close range high intensity situations. Because of these limitations of the MP5, you have to adopt a more run and gun playstyle, and you have to utilise cover for when you're reloading, a bit like when you're using plating, which means you're going to have to sneak in and out of fights a bit more than maybe with other SMGs. This also means that you need to be a bit more mindful of your ammo than say something like the Mac 10, which often has more bullets and gives you a bit more flexibility on how you can use them. The MP5 is not as speedy as other weapons, but it makes up for it with no ADS time, because you're going to be using hipfire most of the time. The hipfire is probably one of the best in the game for a meta weapon anyway. Guns like the ISO actually have slightly better hipfire, but they're weaker and not as viable for other reasons. Why should you use this weapon over the SMGs like the Mac 10 or longer range weapons like the Milano? The reason is because you don't need to ADS for close range and or sometimes even medium range gunfights. That means you have an advantage, and then you can also utilise the high damage of the MP5. And it also is very easy to control, and it's also just a very fun gun to use. You can use this for sniper support, but it's generally better to use it with an AR because it does have some limitations with aim down sight and medium range, though you can use that if you're in a bit of a pinch. I like to use a monolithic suppressor for increased damage range, the 5mm laser, the collapsible stock and the Mark IV grip to reduce the hipfire spread and make it better, and then the 45 round mag to increase magazine capacity. There is an alternative 30 round magazine that you can choose, which increases the damage but at the cost of not being able to equip the 45 round mag, which means that you get a third less ammunition, which is a massive deal in Warzone, and it can mean that it causes a lot of issues, but if you have something like sleight of hand, it might be viable, and it melts people extremely quickly. On the whole, this gun is for really aggressive players who like to use stun grenades. I find that combo works extremely well, and the high mobility that the no ADS hipfire build gives you, maybe with not the highest speed, is quite fun to play with. If you have any questions on the MP5, make sure to comment down below. If you like these sort of guys, make sure to subscribe. Bye.
Careful.
Bro, focus.
Go.
Spread. Run.